Cody Brewer, head assistant wrestling coach at Princeton University. What drew me to Princeton was just the people. The first phone call I had with Joe Dubuque was awesome. He's a great guy. We still battle about who the best lightweight coach is in the country, and I will give him the crown in that way. He probably has it now. I know to learn from one of the best is why I came to Princeton. It's a great academic school, but more than anything, just the people drew me here. The family environment, bringing my family into it is going to be awesome. I think Princeton's one of those schools that's a special place. It has it all, and that's what I look forward to when I'm excited about the job. I think my philosophy on coaching, I'm a big relationship guy. I think to be next to a student athlete, to be able to help them in any way I can. I was a big guy on scoring points. That was what I truly believed in. I think Joe has that same vision. We're very similar in a lot of ways. And just talking to him about what he wants from me and our coaching philosophies, a lot of things match up. And when you have a program that fits that mold of what you were when you wrestled, it makes it so much easier to recruit, to connect with student athletes. And that is my philosophy of scoring points, making it exciting. I know New Jersey wrestling is exciting wrestling in general. To go to these recruiting events, to be around these kids, it's just like when I was in high school in the ways of they believe the same things I do. It's exciting wrestling, and I think that's what makes Princeton really unique in that way. I think my expertise and what I bring to Princeton is just the ability to connect with athletes. I mean, I've had ups and downs in my wrestling career, so it hasn't always been perfect in that way. I always have been the number one seed, or I've been the top dog. I've been on the bottom as well, and I think for me to be able to connect with student athletes in that way of, not everything's always perfect. Not everything is always, handed to you or given to you. You have to work for it. I'm a very blue collar guy in that way, that hard work is going to pay the bills, I think. And for them to see that, to know that I'm going to put the work in for them, I like to tell the guys that I'm 100% in if you're 100% in, in that way. And I think that makes me relatable. They see that, I put all that work into them. They're willing to put the work in, and more for themselves, not just me, but for themselves. And I think my expertise of just being around a lot of student athletes, being around, different programs, wrestling at a different program, coaching at two different programs, I think just being able to relate to these guys more than anything. They go through a lot of ups and downs, and to me as a coach, you have to be there for all of them. The highs of the sport, but then the lows. You got to be able to pick them back up. And I think my expertise with that is like no other. I think I've gone through more, ups and downs than a lot of people, but I think Joe's vision for the program and where we're at, that's what he brought me in to do, is to connect with these guys, to be able to relate my experiences, but also grow with them, in the ways that they're going to have different experiences as well. So I'm excited. I think I bring just a unique perspective on the sport, but also an exciting time, a fun time. I love to joke around. I love to have a good time. I want these guys to enjoy their experience at Princeton as much as I do. So I think to be able to support and motivate your guys is the number one thing of the job. Is they have to come in and enjoy the experience every day. Wrestling is not easy, and I think to be able to do that, and at Princeton with the high academic standards, it's different, and that way I love that challenge, to get these guys to use wrestling to come in every day as their therapy, as they're obviously going to want to accomplish their goals. They want to be national champs. They want to be All-Americans, but to just enjoy the experience, and have fun. This is what it's all about. They're Division I wrestlers for a reason. They're the top of the food chain in that way, and if you don't enjoy your experience, it's not going to be that much fun. But to motivate these guys, I'm a morning person. They're going to hate that and love that at the same time. But to be able to, I live by one quote, and it's live every day as if it was your last. And that's how I wake up in the morning at 7 o'clock in the mornings and get ready. That's how I preach to the guys that we got to enjoy every day. And to be able to motivate them and get them on my level in that way, whether it's energy, and there's times they're going to need to pick me up. And I think that's what really defines what Princeton wrestling is going to be, is to pick each other up when things are good, bad, whatever. And yeah, I love to be able to motivate people. To see somebody get their goals is my favorite part of the job. So. My goals for the season are pretty simple. It's whatever we come about as a staff, but I know personally it's number one is to get to know the guys on the team. My first year into the job, I have to experience, everything with those guys, dive into the job, get to know them, really make this year a get to know experience. They get to know me from a coaching end, they get expectations out of me. But I get expectations for them. I'm going to be here all summer, but taking this summer into the next year of really diving in of who they are, they know who I am. That's probably goal number one. And then as far as the season, my expectations are pretty simple in the ways of it's all practice until the end of the year, but understand we grow within practice. We get confidence through practice. There are matches, every match they win, every match they lose, we learn things. We go back to the drawing board, and then, for me as a program, to win the Ivy League championships the first year at Princeton. There's tough teams in the Ivy League, but I think we can win that. And then going into a top 15 finish is a realistic goal for me with the team that we have right now. I know I'm going to believe way more than they are at first, but I think that's the great thing about the sport. They have to have somebody that's bought in, that's all into them, and then they feel that. And as a program, I think that's where we can be. Obviously, in the future, top 10 finishes, trophy hunt, that's where I want to be, and that's where Joe has told me that we need to be. And I think we can make that happen with the staff that we're putting together, the people, the support, the alumni. Princeton's very different in that way, that they have a lot of support, and I think that's the best part of being here that I've learned of just the alumni are so involved, and they want to see this thing win. That's at the end of the day, it's easy to say it, but we have to do it, and I know me, Joe, and the other staff are going to put together the work to get there. I think what I'm most excited about is just from a program perspective is just to get to know the alumni more. I know that's the big start of they're going to get to know me more, but get to know the alumni. Joe and Coach Ayers built this foundation for the program, and I'm excited I get to walk into that in an easy way of building a program is a lot different than starting, halfway in, I should say, in that way. And I know that I'm excited to take this thing to the next level. They built a great foundation. Now Joe has brought me in to say, let's take it from where we're at. I know they were 13th in the country 2 years ago. How do we get to top 10 consistently every year? That's what excites me. That's what, and seeing guys on that stage is what gets me. When Pat Glory won a national title, I wasn't a part of that, but seeing that from afar, there's no feeling in wrestling like watching a guy win a national title and being on that stage. And as a coach, I'm yet to be on that stage, and I'm looking forward to it now. I've had some great athletes, coached some great kids, had All-Americans, but to see a Princeton Tiger on that stage achieving his goals is what this thing is all about. And I know that's going to get the alumni excited. I've already had multiple people reach out to me that are excited that I got hired. They don't even know me yet in that way, but can't wait to get to know those guys. I'm excited for the vision of the program. What Joe has put in place is we're already hitting the ground running, and I know the recruiting classes are going to be big. The sophomore, junior recruiting class is going to be awesome. I can't wait to get on the road, get to know these kids, sell them on Princeton, but sell them on our staff, this environment that we're creating. I think my long-term aspirations, number one, is to make Joe Dubuque the best head coach in the country. I think that your assistants feed off of that, and Joe has built something unbelievable here now, and I can't wait to make him the best head coach in the country. That's my first goal of long-term for him is people look at Joe Dubuque and they're like, that guy's an unbelievable head coach. He brought a bunch of people along with him. He's a great guy. But to make him, a predominant coach in the country to where, we're top 3 and 4 and they're like, we're talking about Cale Sanderson, but then Joe Dubuque is right in that conversation. And that's my goal, for a long-term successful program. For me, I think it's just to enjoy it and enjoy this time of, I'm a family person. I'm a man of God. I think I've been blessed up to this point, and it keeps happening to me, which don't know why yet. I'm going to keep taking them. But I've been put in some great scenarios with great people, and I think for anything to be in those scenarios over and over and over again and to be lucky like I have been, I think I'm excited for my family to get involved in the community and really see this program grow. to what it could be. I see those top 10 finishes. I think as a coach for long term, I want to be in the trophy hunt, and really see it, take it to the next level. Joe always says, we're going to take this program to the moon, and I really believe that, and I'm excited about that.